Guys, the matchup this week is the Carolina Panthers. This is how we like to kick off the week against the upcoming opponent. Let's start with the PFF preview. There's some really, really good analytics in here. This what I love is, yes, there's some grades involved here. You'll see the Bryce Young versus Jordan Love, kind of who grades out better. But most of this is just analytics driven. So I like to get their analytics as well as NFL Pro across the board. So overall ranking, right? They've got the Packers ranked second overall. The Panthers are 24th. When you go to the defensive side of the ball, the Packers are ranked 11th. The Panthers are ranked 24th. When you go to the offensive side of the ball, the Packers offense, fire Matt LaFleur, right? Third best offense in the league right now. And then you've got the Panthers sitting at 26. In terms of strength of schedule played, they're very similar. The Packers have played the 24th toughest schedule, and the Panthers have played the 27th. So both of them have had somewhat of an easy road so far. It's funny, we were talking about going into the first quarter of the season was just going to be this rough stretch for the Packers. Then you look up in the strength of schedule, what happened? I thought we were supposed to start 0-2, right? You remember that talk, guys? Because, the front side of the schedule. So this is why I don't put a whole lot of stock in strength of schedule, because all it takes, that's off-season talk is all it is. You get a quarter of the way through the season, and nothing is the same all of a sudden because the parity across the league, right? So in terms of average offensive snaps, the Packers are sitting at 65. The Panthers are at 69.
65%.
65%. That's what the Packers are passing the ball 57% of the time. The Panthers are passing the ball 59% of the time as it sits right now. EPA per run, they are better than the Packers at a 0.01. The Packers are currently at a minus 0.05. However, EPA per pass, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love carving up the league at a positive 0.29. I think Jordan Love is second right now in the league in EPA per drop back, only behind Daniel Jones, and it's literally 100th of a point or however that breaks down. And then the Panthers are minus 0.09 in EPA per pass. But you got to keep in mind, some of that's been with Andy Dalton. You're going to have Bryce Young this week is what it's looking like. And when you look at the PFF preview for the quarterbacks, you've got Jordan Love at an 81.5 now, Bryce Young at a 67.3. Passer rating when clean, when Jordan Love has a clean pocket, 135.8. And Bryce Young, 84.4. We know Bryce Young is a mobile, very good athlete in terms of a quarterback. His passer rating under pressure is at 84.6. Jordan Love's is a 46.5. So they got a slight edge there. And again, he hasn't played near as many games as Jordan Love this year. I'm assuming that's the case. Big time throw percentage, however, Jordan Love, 4.71%. Big time throw percentage for Bryce Young is at 3.72. Turnover worthy plays, Jordan's at 2.75. And Bryce Young is at 2.97. Power rating, Jordan Love 4.5, and Bryce Young 1.5. That ranks Jordan 7th, and of course Bryce Young in the 24 spot. Any of those metrics you guys want to hit on, I want to get your all's take. This feels like a game the Packers should win. We'll talk about the point spread here in just a second. Again, though, any given Sunday, man, I think the matchup here is you need to establish the run early because their run defense is cheats.
Yep. Absolutely. And give Josh Jacobs the opportunity to get those wheels turning again. Let's get him over 100 and maybe a touchdown or two. Utilize him in the pass game, of course. But I'd like to see Josh have a big day on the ground for us, get that run game going. And just looking at the quarterback comparison, too, you talk about Bryce Young being a mobile quarterback. It really explains why, he's nearly the same passer, whether he's clean or under pressure, because he's a guy that's going to step up, step out, roll, tuck it and run. Those are things that you have to concern yourself with. Granted, this is his first game back in a while. Granted, he's playing behind that offensive line, and he's going to have to deal with our pass rush. And, he's going to have to deal with those joker looks that, we basically made Aaron Rodgers' day a living hell on Sunday night in the second half with that. So, you got a young quarterback, no pun intended, Mr. Young back there.
I see what you did there.
Against some grown-ass man up front. You're right. We should, take care of business, but you can't overlook any opponent. Nobody is a reflection of their record. Once we snap the ball and start playing, any given Sunday, it's the old cliche, but it's so true. So I think you have to account for Bryce Young because we've seen quarterbacks from subpar teams come into Lambeau on a Sunday and light us up on the ground. And it's not a pretty sight. And quarterbacks, in my opinion, that are as good, if not even worse than a Bryce Young that have done it to us before. So you have to take that into consideration on Sunday when you're scheming up your defense. But I think the best answer is a good offense, like you said, Clay. Establish that run, move the sticks all day, and keep your opponent's offense off the field. That's how you win ball games.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And to Tim's point, I want to make Bryce Young have to play a good quarterback, play like a good quarterback, because with Chuba Hubbard, I believe, and I think it's Rico Dowdle is their other running back. They've been doing pretty darn decent for as kind of, if you want to say that the Panthers as an organization as a whole has been kind of struggling. In addition to what Tim just said, Bryce Young, I think, is ascending still. Was he a number one overall drafted quarterback?
I believe he was, out of Alabama. And I'm telling you, he was my favorite quarterback that year. The problem with Bryce Young, Jacob, is they have just had this.
They're throwing him to the wall. They have the worst management of their roster. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
no, that's it, man.
They went out and what would they remember? They went and signed a bunch of wide receivers without trying to shore up the offensive line. They kind of neglected the defense. They decided
they traded away their edge defender, and I know that doesn't have anything to do with Bryce Young. But listen, when you got somebody when the opposing quarterback sit back there all day and throw the football, and they jump out to an early lead, guess what? Now it's just statistically proven that if a quarterback and his offense are constantly week in and week out playing from behind, you're going to make more mistakes. That's just the way it is. So, and you were right on the running game. If there's one thing that Carolina does well, it's run the football. They're 10th in yards per carry at 4.6. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just look for us to absolutely come with a full head of steam, being at home, coming off an absolutely really pivotal win that I think is going to put a lot of confidence behind not just the team, but you can't tell me that Jordan Love doesn't have a little ego boost from beating his predecessor, his mentor. All the talk that we tried to tamp down, which that's what we got to do is honestly as Packer fans in that situation. But I'll be honest with you guys, it was a big game. It was a massive game for him. And, Jordan's the type of guy that probably will never admit fully how much that meant to him because he's just a leader like that. He's a humble guy. He's a respectable guy, and he would never want to, in any way try to tarnish Rodgers and what he's done for him and his maturation and all that kind of stuff. But I really do believe that lit a fire, not only under him, but the way that I think the team looked at what Jordan Love did that game. I don't know if I remember if we covered this or not, but I believe I saw a stat that he was the first quarterback in NFL history to have 20 straight completions, over 350 yards, to have the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. First time in NFL history that has happened. And we're all sitting here wondering if he's a bust. Not all. Some of us are still sitting here talking smack in the Packers fan base. It's like, you got to wake up and wipe the crust out of your eyes because we have a 10. What does he do? Why is he number 10, Tim?
Because he only throws dimes, man.
That's right.
And I don't think it's an ego thing. I mean, to your point, I know what you're saying. I think it was a confidence booster for Jordan. And
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Sure. I feel like, we all have our own egos, but I think Jordan's one of those guys where that's buried deep down inside. It doesn't come out to the forefront very often.
There
are guys that are ego driven, right? I don't think Jordan's one of them, but we said that going into this game, Jacob. Hey, that it's probably a bigger game for Jay Money than it is for Aaron, and it certainly proved that Jordan is definitely someone that's the moment is never going to be too big for him. Game on the line. We always talk about it. Think play or not play. That's the type of dude you want under center when your season or the game is on the line. I don't think Jordan is going to cower in the face of pressure or adversity at all. And coming off a huge road win, the first road win in Pittsburgh since 1970, and now you're coming back to 1265 for 2 home games. This is exactly where this team wants to be right now at this point in the season.
And don't look now, but they're saying a beautiful, clear sky, 36 degrees. Tim, is that what they're calling for? It's going to be a chilly day at Atlanta. You'll be able to see the breath from the offensive lineman a little bit. Oh, come on.
And we're going to have that beautiful bright sun.
Yes.
Right over the stadium. Oh, love it.
As Wayne Larrabee says, a sun-splashed afternoon at Lambeau Field. I love it. So
for sure.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. And here's let me be negative for just a second. You guys know I don't do this often. I want to go on a limb and say, if the Packers struggle to run the football this week, we got a problem. That we got to seriously step back and acknowledge, okay, there's something wrong with the run game. Something's definitely up, right? Because they should be able to run the football on this team. Like I said, I want to say they were 25th or 26th in yards per carry allowed, and you should have a decent chance of playing with a lead. Barring, listen, you could fumble the opening kickoff, and it's a dogfight till the end, right? That could happen. Any given Sunday.
Speaking of a problem,
here's the guy.
Here's the guy.
Fresh from Top Golf. What's up, Excelio?
Must be nice, man.
You slicing them or hooking them? What's going on?
Whichever way is to the right.
I know Emilio. He's a hooker.
Yeah, whatever way is deep into the right. That's all about.
Are you a right-handed golfer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're slicing it, buddy.
Slicing.
Yeah, so I just turned myself. To like 10 o'clock. And then
There you go.
Yeah, so we're good.
Emilio, you got to do the Happy Gilmore approach.
I was thinking about it.
That's all you need. And then you fall into the net at the Top Golf.
Oh yeah.
They gotta pull you out
in there.
When multiple people do that, boy, just go to YouTube, right? Unbelievable. Hey, Emilio, do me a favor, check your mic just in case it's stolen there. Well, we know you stole your mic from Best Buy, but just make sure we can get good sound quality out of you. All right, so let's talk about the line, the betting line. Again, we talked about the weather, right? It's going to be a beautiful day, about mid-30s, mid to upper 30s, clear sky. Fox is going to have the broadcast, looks like. Point spread. The market has us as 13.5-point favorites as it sits right now. PFF Analytics has it closer to 12.3, okay? Now, when you're talking about where the money's at, 57% of the money is on Green Bay to cover that 13.5. If you guys know me, I don't bet on Packer games. If I were to bet on this game, I would probably take the Panthers plus 13.5. I honestly think I would tease it to 14.5. Is probably what I would try to do if the line doesn't change, and I couldn't imagine it would go in that direction. But regardless, the money line, however, just winning outright, 86% of the money is on Green Bay to win this game, and the juice is on the Panthers at 650. Bets percentage, so we're talking about tickets, 96% of the tickets are on Green Bay to just win outright. So heavy favorites to win this game. We know that doesn't mean anything in terms of what could go wrong on Sunday, but I think this is a good indication of that high that Tim was talking about, Emilio, coming out of Pittsburgh. You got Jordan Love, who's as confident as he's ever been. You got Tucker Kraft, that's playing great football. Obviously, Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary are just screaming after the quarterback, Edgerrin Cooper. He's the one who set the siren off this week with the ball king, right? Punching that ball out there in the fourth quarter, huge play. I feel like the DBs played well personally. Keyshawn had a couple lapses there. It sounds like, if I had to guess, I would think Carrington Valentine is going to start over Nate Hobbs. We'll have to wait and find out at game time. But what do you think, Emilio? This feels like one of those games we may be going live in the fourth quarter, or we're all going to be extremely pissed off during the postgame show. Nothing in between.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it means we won't be seeing Jacob if that's the case, and be flipping tables. But no, that's it, man. And honestly, I think you get Jordan having a hot game, Tucker having a hot game. It's probably going to be somebody else this week, right? It'd probably be Josh Jacobs going off, or maybe we'll get Matthew Golden for 100 and a touchdown, and it's just going to be, it not having the same weapon and not being able to game plan the same way each week. I think Matt's going to kind of lean into that just a little. Not that you need to take the ball away from Tucker or anything like that, but just try to find a way to get everybody else engaged, right? You got your third round rookie a touchdown. Let's get your first round rookie one, and let's just kind of just keep stacking them. It doesn't need to be, the house, Rome wasn't built in a day. We don't need this team to be Super Bowl ready this week. But I think, any step towards the right direction, like you were saying earlier, we just need to get that run game going. That wall up front needs to just start grading.
Like it. Anything else you guys want to add to this preview before we I want to dive into the Panthers schedule a little bit and see who they won. But Tim, Jacob, y'all got anything else to add here?
Yeah, establish the run. Did we mention that? Pound the freaking rock. Let's go ahead and try and force the issue a little bit. Let's make it a point to run the football. We're at home. It's a nooner. Against the team we should be able to, find our legs again in the run game. I say be aggressive. Get this O-line run blocking. Get them aggressive moving forward. We already know, despite the the rotating cast of characters we've had at times with injuries on that O-line, that for the most part they keep Jordan pretty clean. We've seen him under pressure in a handful of situations this year. He took a couple sacks, but nothing that we're worried about pass pro. So I think when that comes natural to your group, then I think you can ask them to make an effort to get those big hog mollies moving forward a little bit, and let's push the pile and run the ball. We know Josh is one of those backs that can you can give him a inside zone run or something. Next thing you know, he's bounced outside of the tackle and he's off to the races. So maybe forcing the issue is not the right word, but I think an emphasis on running the football should be made on Sunday against this team. For sure.
I agree. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, Tim, I'm looking at their offensive line. Clayton's got it on the screen right here. Morton, Christensen, Mays with Hunt already on IR. Those guys aren't ranking terribly. You're looking at the 23rd overall, 12th overall, 15th overall. If all three of those guys, or even one or two of them, can't play, the run game, which I'm sure they're going to try to establish with Rico Dowdle, Chuba, that whole thing, it's going to be severely affected. And don't forget that if Devontae Wyatt is even more healthy this week, that's another beast on that defensive line. I mean, between Parsons, between Gary, between if we have a decent Wyatt, we've seen the steps that Brinson has taken, that Colby has taken. I find it hard to find an avenue where Carolina comes out of this unless everything's going in their way. You know what I mean? Everything. So I'm pretty excited about that.
We need to box up their run. Rico Dowdle went for over 200 or 150 or 200 against the Cowboys against his old team. So that is one thing that we need to make sure we do. But if we box up the run, I think we're in great shape.
Yeah. Also, we can't get in a situation where they're running all over you, and then, because that by default is going to open up things for any passing game in the league, right? So we got to be stout against that running attack.
It's also worth mentioning they are 26th in turnover differential, so they are giving the ball away and not taking it away very often, right? Also,
Ball king, baby, punch it out all day long. Let's go.
On top of that, they are 17th in sacks allowed. They're giving up 2.4 sacks per game. So this may be one of those games where Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary each. We may come away. This may, and again, anything can happen. I don't want this to come across like we're saying this is a slam dunk win. I see people in the chat, and listen, fan how you want to fan. I got you. I know people think this is just going to be the Packers are going to run away with this thing any given Sunday, like we always say. But this does, to me, feel a little bit like that Tennessee game last year. Like you go up to an early lead, get up to a 2-score lead, and just turn the dogs loose and get after the quarterback. Now, Bryce Young, he can make you miss and he can hurt you with those secondary windows for sure. I wanted to look at the schedule real quick. Sometimes there's some hidden information here, right? Like Arizona, for instance. Everybody was talking about how the Packers are going to boat race Arizona. We looked at the schedule, and what we see on Arizona's schedule, they played – every one of their losses were really, really close. But what ended up happening? The Packers, they beat them by 4 points? Is that what we ended up beating them by, 3 or 4 points, something like that? So with that being said, let's see who the Panthers have played. Week 1, they lost to the Jaguars 26-10. Week 2, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals 27-22. So that was a 1-score game. They beat the Falcons somehow 30-0, right? They lost to the Patriots 42-13, so they got blown out there. They beat the Dolphins 27-24. They beat the Cowboys 30-27, the Cowboys that we tied, right? And then they beat the Jets 13-6. I wonder if that went to extra innings there. God, what a horrible score. And then week 8 last week, they lost to the Bills 40-9. So you can kind of see some of these games they're getting their ass handed to them, and other games are winning games they should be losing, right?
Hey, Emilio, this looks like another keep them at or under 20, and we get the dub, right?
Absolutely. I was just taking a peek. Panthers are 27th in the league, 19.2 points per game. They are 24th in the league at minus 38 in point differential. Packers are 10th at plus 43. But the only number that really caught my eye was the record in close games. Panthers are 3-1. We are 1-1-1. So that would be the only thing. As long as we can get ourselves out to a little bit of cushion, give me 7, give me 10. And then we're off to the races. But if they keep it to a 1-score game by the fourth quarter, we are in for a scrap. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. And last thing I want to hit on real quick. Let's go to the questions for the show. I want to lay the foundation for something. I'm throwing around an idea, guys. So we've got these questions for the show here, and I've neglected it. I apologize, right? Things have been crazy. The season gets going. I'm trying to find time to break down the tape for Chalk Talk. It just gets a little rough. I would like to start doing a weekly show at some point, especially with my work schedule slowing down, that we're going to call Mailbag, okay? And essentially how it's going to work, questions for the show will get top priority along with super chats. And then anybody who's in the chat, if we have time, if there's no super chats and we've moved beyond the questions for the show aspect, all you got to do is put in the chat MB or a mailbox, a mailbox emoji, right? And that tells us this is a mailbox question, okay? And that would just be us kind of hanging out, chatting, answering questions from the chat in rapid fire succession. So I think that would be really cool. I want to give you guys more of a voice in the chat. But it's going to have to be kind of an extra show. Like I'm hoping I can do it like maybe midday or something, right? If I've got extra time, I'll just throw up in the Patreon, hey, we're going to do a mailbag episode. And then, like I said, super chats will be prioritized. And anybody who puts MB or the mailbox emoji there as well. And you can do that over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Let's get into the questions here. We got Murph in the house. Before him, though,
Murph.
First, we've got Pack Rob, who says Dirtbag Watch. Land. Did his mama really name him Land? Land Clark? Or is it Landon Clark? Somebody give me some information on this dirtbag. Land Clark is the head ref for us this week. So, Tim, you doing any research over there? I'm going to pull up a tab and see if we can get some statistics on this dirtbag.
They're all dirtbags. They're all equally dirtbags. Forget about it. We got to beat the refs and the Panthers on Sunday. Hopefully the spirit of Buckets Goldenberg will be with us on Throwback Sunday.
His name really is Land Clark. He did not
Land Clark.
Yeah, she did not want him having babies with any females. That's for sure.
No, LC. He went by LC his whole life for sure.
Okay, hold on. We got our Jamie in the chat right here. United Bates says his name is Vincent Land Clark. He was born March 20th, 1962. Age 63 from Santa Barbara, California. Thank you, Bates.
Security number,
Bates was all over it. Bates ran an NCIC check on him.
What's his blood type, Bates? Come on.
Unbelievable. I got a visual on this dirtbag.
Yeah, scroll on down, Clay. I got you.
Oh, do you really? Where at? What are you talking? Oh, in the chat. Look at Emilio using the technological advancements here. Look at this dirtbag right here, guys.
Wow.
Looks like a terrible guy.
Look at the battery percentage, man. I need to charge this thing.
You irresponsible.
Click on it, Clay. You got to click on the guy. That way you can get a good
I got
click
something better, Emilio. I can't handle your mediocrity.
J. Cole.
So mean.
What do you say?
Man, what a square ass name.
What a square ass name.
It's true, man. That's almost as bad as Clayton. You kidding me? Really rough right there. All right. So for the week, we do this every week. We've got, looks like he's trying to violate somebody here on this image, but we'll pull it up here. Bang, that dirtbag right there. Okay, there we go.
That Jacob, looks like he's saying, hey, New York called me in the earpiece, okay? I got to listen to what they tell me.
It looks like Jacob about to get fired from the club, too, man. You get to keep them hands down. You know what I'm saying?
No, but he probably really do. Jacob talked to. Dude's, 63? So, I mean, it's about right around that age there.
There you go.
Oh, we're going to give him
some. Really? Cheesehead Murph said, do you think they get a deal done with Dobbs before the end of the season? My answer would be no, okay? Because I think Dobby, his market, I feel like it's increasing a little bit. And I think the Packers' blueprint, they probably got the number they want him at, right? Just like Quay Walker. And as these guys continue to perform, I think they're going to kind of price themselves out of Green Bay's range. I really do believe that. Does anybody else agree, disagree? What's your all's take on that? Real quick, we'll go rapid fire, wrap this thing up before I get divorced.
I hope they're close. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do, because the market's just going to continue to go up, I think, the longer this goes out. And if they're serious about, keeping Rome around, I mean, look what they did with Scoot. I mean, talk about a smart move to keep Scoot in the fold for another year and then give yourself an opportunity to, we always talk about they can't keep all of these guys. I mean, it's a pretty good chance we could keep this core together for a while. And I think the sooner they get something done with Rome, the better. For sure. Yeah.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but did they secure Scoot's contract after he got hurt, or was it prior? Yeah. So it was after. So I think that they understood.
No, that was like a month ago.
That's what I was saying. So in my eyes, I don't see that same sort of team friendly deal happening for Rome, just because his back's not honestly against the wall like Christian was, and being from they're the same draft class too, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it's like, I just feel like that, to Clayton's point, Rome may have a better chance at getting some big time money, getting the bag, as the kids say, from a different team. However, I will say that the big catalyst or question mark for him is I really do think Rome enjoys being in Green Bay. I think he likes his team, likes the organization, likes where he's at mentally. And so if he is willing to ever, quote unquote, take a team-friendly deal, that might be the guy that would actually do it. I mean, we'll see. I'd love for us to keep him, to be honest, because, I mean, like Clayton said on that roundtable, man, I don't know if there's a more sure-handed guy in certain situations around the league. He's not like Clayton said, not going to take the top off the defense necessarily. He's not going to wow you with his 40 time or with anything like that, but he's about as steady as they get.
Yeah. And I will say this, for what it's worth, you've seen Matthew Golden playing a little X. He was playing a little X against Pittsburgh. So that makes me think they're getting him. Remember what I said originally? If Romeo is not on this team, Matthew Golden would be the X, Jaden Reed would be the F, and Christian Watson would be the speed Z, right? I think that's their long-term plan, unless they can get a really, really good deal on Romeo Doubs. The only problem with giving Doubs a contract extension, would you be willing to pay him more than Christian Watson? I would not, personally. So with that being said, Christian Watson's number, as we talked about, is really low. So if I'm Romeo, I love Green Bay, but I'm probably wanting to hit that market, I would imagine. So, all right, move on to the next question. We'll go rapid fire. Cheesehead Murph, do you think Matt should let Jordan run the show like Aaron during the first half, 4 minutes to halftime of the middle 8? Does he do it already? Doesn't seem like it, but I could be wrong. I don't think it's a scenario, Murph, where Matt's not calling in a play and Jordan's just going out there and doing it. I don't think Aaron honestly ever did that. Now, Jordan has the same freedom that Aaron has. Yeah. People used to get so pissed, not that you did, Murph, but people would get so pissed at Aaron going, he keeps changing the play. He keeps changing the play. Guys, all he was doing was canning to the next play. Yeah. It's the
Every
same
play call is 3 play calls, really. Yeah.
And it's exactly what Jordan's doing now, so there's nothing different in that regard, in my opinion. Cheesehead Murph also said, hypothetically speaking, now with the Hobbs deal, can we move him at the trade deadline if we don't see him fitting in, not trying to, just curiosity? You could. You're going to take a dead cap hit of like $16 million this year if you did that, right, which he's already on the books for. But if you could trade him and get something, I can see how you could make a case for that. I do not think it'll happen. Personally.
What's the market for Nate Hobbs, Like what are we going to get?
Yeah, it's got to be.
And I honestly would like, I know everyone's down on him right now, but I like the hot piss that he plays with, man. Mm-hmm. He brings a fire to our secondary.
I did too.
And I think as fans, we owe it to ourselves to be a little patient. Let him play his way back to 100% coming off that knee cleanup that he had in the preseason.
I'd be almost for him taking a couple weeks off, healing that thing up, and just coming in and playing play here and there when you need them. If we go 5 DBs or 6 DBs, whatnot, and then all right, let's use him more as we get into the postseason or whatever. As you're running into just more injuries down the line. I mean, what happens if Key ever goes down? And someone's got to step up and play.
To Clayton's point on the NFC roundtable, we're sitting here talking like we have this worst cornerback group, or some certain fans are talking about how we have the worst cornerback group. Clayton, what are we ranked as an average passing per yard or per play?
Yeah, so in yards per play, passing yards per play, what that means is anytime the opponent runs a passing play, the yards that you're averaging, that you're giving up, the Packers are ranked first in the NFL in that category.
Is that good? First.
And you noticed in the chat too, when I said that, people were like, "Oh, that's such a skewed stat. The Packers, Packers pass defense is horrible." And I'm going, boys, facts don't care about your feelings.
Literally not.
Literally, it's a statistic, and I think it's the most important statistic is when you're talking about breaking down yards per play. If I had said they're first, I love hearing people say this, they're first in this category per game, like yards per game or points per game, right? Guys, that can be skewed really easy. But when you're breaking it down per play, that's the closest you can get. It's not everything, but it's definitely the most important statistic that you can come up with on a per play basis, right? So, and listen, they're first in yards per pass play allowed, right? Great. Does that mean they're perfect? No. That's what's exciting. We're the best in the league in that stat, and we all still see on Chalk Talk we're making mistakes. That's exciting. That's a good place to be. So, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Jake. All right. Murph said another what if. What if Emmanuel Wilson, I'm assuming he's saying, right? Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson has a year behind Jacobs. Do you keep him and move on from Lloyd, or keep Lloyd and possibly trade Emmanuel? during the offseason. If it were me personally, I would keep Emmanuel Wilson. As long as you've got his rights, keep him on the roster. I think he's going back.
We do have exclusive rights to him, don't we?
Yes.
What will probably end up happening with Marshawn Lloyd, I'm pretty sure we do, Tim. I'd have to pull the contract. But what I would do with Marshawn Lloyd is I would, hopefully he'll get back this year at some point. If he don't, then you put him on IR. You try it one more time next year. If he gets hurt again, that's it. You got to move on, right?
He's got to be able to survive camp next year.
Got to be able to. Sure. And again, that's no knock against Marshawn Lloyd. That was Daniel Jeremiah's best running back coming out in the draft. I think that still holds true. Yeah. It's bad break, right? Emilio, you run your damn NCAA football 26 running backs into the ground. You see the bar going yellow on the way and tearing
all the way down. And next year, they go up a couple overall, but man, that red bar is blinking. And coach signs away, lost my star quarterback, coach receipts went down, all that stuff. So, but in all seriousness, Lloyd, you think about it, we had, who was it? Taylor, I think we picked him up in the 7th round 3 or 4 years ago. That running back didn't work out. He didn't even make the cut. Then you get Marshawn. Okay, cool. But he's not, it's tough, right? You want him to be out there. He's physical. He's fast. He's freaky. But I just need you to stay on the field. I feel bad for the guy. He's not trying to do this. You got Josh Jacobs last year, bringing him to every practice and all that stuff. It's not like he's not getting a good mentor and good people around him. It's just his body needs to let him, be the player that we think he can be. But if not, I think where you're pulling the trigger on a running back in the next draft. But also, how high of a draft pick do you need to start spending on these running backs when you've seen time and time again teams pull a running back off the street and let the dude run for 150 and let's go. So, and again, it's kind of like those reclamation projects for quarterbacks. You can find a running back that's ran for 3 years at another team that didn't work out, maybe got 3 yards of carry, and you bring him over here, you find his niche and he's off. But I'm glad that we moved on from, I love Aaron Jones. I'm happy we moved on from him. Josh Jacobs has been a more stout back, been on the field more than Jonesy, which is tough, but you're just processing down. You got time frame of their age, where we are as a team. And right now Lloyd's on the bubble of, not having enough time and not being physically ready to roll.
Yep. Right. And in the meantime, we got Savion Williams. That guy can take a handoff or a toss or.
And he's so tall, dude. He's so lengthy. I feel like he's just going to get stuck, and he just is nimble.
That swing pass to him, that design swing pass.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't have the hat count, he's still scoring that touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Full head of steam coming around the corner. He's just going to run through somebody's face.
And you already have. And who was blocking on that play on the edge? Chris Brooks and Matthew Golden. Yep. You already have another running back you're leaning on. Yeah. You got rid of one of your tight ends because you turned Fitzpatrick into your you can swing them around and all that. So you're finding guys that are filling the niche. If you're on the field, you're going to play. If you're available, you're going to get a shot. And I just love that. When you go back and watch some of Emmanuel Wilson's highlight tapes, that dude is freaky. He is like he can hit you with the dead leg like Josh Jacobs does, but also has that explosiveness. The dude is ready to be an NFL running back, and we're seeing it.
Yeah. With Chris Brooks, too, when we go to the pony package, more times than not, they've got him as a blocking back, right? That says a lot about what Matt LaFleur thinks. And then when you go with that bunch load left, who did he have on the edge?
Flex him. Chris Brooks. Yep.
And it's literally the most pivotal part of that blocking scheme. He said, I want 30 out there. It's pretty wild to think. And it just hit me. We ain't seeing much pony package here lately, are we, guys?
No.
We're starting to drift away from it a little bit, right? Don't be surprised if that comes back in the second half, but I'm glad they got away from it because I didn't feel like it. I felt like Matt realized, all right, we can't get the running game going using this right now. Let's put it on the shelf. Let's get back to the basics. Let's run a little more duo, right? That 26 toss was awesome with Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And with a duo kind of approach too.
There was a lot of eye candy up there too, right? When you're in shotgun and you're trying to move all those bodies, you're faking one way, then spinning around, handing it off. Yep. You're doing a lot of motion, and we weren't getting any push up front. It didn't lead us anywhere.
Right, exactly. And again, it worked last year, but teams had a whole offseason to watch the tape, right? And I'm excited to see if they can get this running game going. Again, chalk talk this week, or probably the post game show. To be honest with you, you're either going to hear me say it, all right, we got a little momentum in the running game, guys, or we're going to hear me go, boys, we got a problem.
Yeah,
you should be able to run the ball against this team. So I'm excited to see how it unfolds. So with that being said, for those of you watching this video later, let us know in the comments what you think about this matchup. Packers, Panthers? Do you think 13 points is too much? Do you think it's right in the sweet spot? Is it not enough? Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. You guys got anything else you want to hit on before Tim tells everybody about this charity that we're partnering with? Good?
Don't think so.
Let's do it. Tim, tell them about the great folks over at OperationHorsesHill.org, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel and her husband, Rooster. Got to love a name like Rooster, right?
Rooster.
You already know.
I'm probably related to Rooster, man. I'm telling you.
They've got a great place out there in Westboro, Wisconsin, working with veterans, active duty servicemen and women and their families, helping with horse-assisted programs for our veterans, improving mental health in our veterans and for their families. So we're teaming up with them. You guys know we got a couple of days left in the month for your chance to win an autographed Rome jersey. OperationHorsesHill.org/how can I help is where you go to make your donation. Every donation, regardless of dollar amount, is going to get your name on that Larry McCarron pinky wheel, and we're going to spin it to see who wins the jersey. We're trying to raise up some money to get them a truck and a horse trailer so that they can bring some of the horses directly to these veterans at other events and things in the future. So please check out OperationHorsesHill.org for more information on what they're doing here for our veterans, and then also to make your donation. You can also scan that QR code in the upper right, and it'll take you directly to the donation page.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that information. Again, OperationHorsesHill.org. You can go to my Twitter account at Packers_access. You'll see a tweet pinned at the top of the page. That link's right there. Just click on it, go to the link. You can make a donation from your phone. You can make a donation from your computer, wherever you're at. And also, if you don't have money to donate, it's totally cool. We completely understand. Just feel free to tweet that link out and just share this website here, OperationHorsesHill.org. That makes a difference as well. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. We're out of here. I'm going to go save my marriage. I've been doing podcasting for the last damn near 3 hours. My voice is going. So, but it's great talking with you guys. Obviously, we did an afternoon show too. It's unbelievable. She's got my bags packed. I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live, where we'll probably dive into the PFF preview from a lineup standpoint. We'll show you their best graded players, our best graded players, and we'll get into any other breaking news. We'll give you the latest on the injury report, all that good stuff. We didn't even show you footage today. We'll show you footage tomorrow of the helmets they're going to be wearing this week. Obviously, they're wearing them in practice already. The 3D leather helmets. It's going to be awesome. So everybody hit like, hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. So many people still aren't subscribed. Listen, I do the same thing. I've got random shows that I watch every single day, sports shows, and I'm not even subscribed to their channel. Now that I'm running the channel, I realize how important it is. I'm like, man, I need to go subscribe to them, right? It doesn't cost a dime. Just hit that sub button and hit like for us as well. That tells the algorithm, hey, these guys it's a pretty good show, even though it isn't. We all know it sucks, but we greatly appreciate it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Emilio, give him the birth control wave there.
Birth control.
There you go. See y'all later.
Here we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.